Hi, I'm Amy Marshall-Colón. I'm an associate professor at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign in the Department of Plant Biology. And today I'm going to be telling you about how we are trying to increase crop production by connecting models from the micro to the macro scale. Most of us are aware that with climate change, it's going to become increasingly difficult to meet the global food demand for staple crops. So strategies are needed to improve food security, and many of these strategies focus on understanding the relationship between plant genotype and phenotype. And in order to advance our understanding of genotype to phenotype relationships is through the use of mathematical modeling. So mathematical crop models let us do things in the dry lab that are difficult or even impossible to do in the wet lab, but they can help us identify new avenues for engineering or breeding efforts. So in silico experimentation and discovery allows users to mix and match plug and play modules to identify optimization strategies to improve crop traits. So this component swapping requires a library of models that can be mixed and matched seamlessly to produce believable biological data. So a question that I had a few years ago was if we could leverage the thousands of mathematical models of plants that have been published over the last few decades to build virtual plants. And what I think would be most exciting in the generation of digital plants would be linking mechanistic models from the micro scale to physiological models at the macro scale. And as it turns out, this poses a number of problems. And so there needs to be some sort of messaging system that translates the inputs and the outputs from these various models. And so that turned out to be more of a logistical problem than a biological problem. And this is where the Crops in Silico team came together. And we built this project around three components. The first is a computational framework. So that's the first piece that we need is this messaging system to allow communication between these very diverse models. And so then, of course, the other component is the virtual crop models that we can treat as modules that we want to link together in this framework to build accurate representation of these crops. But to really do that, it has to be a community effort since no individual lab has all of the models needed or all of the parameter files necessary to build these virtual crop plants. So these are the three components of the Crops in Silico. And so with that, I want to thank my colleagues at the University of Illinois and the National Center for Supercomputing Application and the other collaborators on the Crops in Silico project. I look forward to answering any questions that you might have. Thank you.